What's up guys, Anthony Vapes. Today here with my review of the ETaliens ET-X3 mod. Disclaimer wise, I don't need any disclaimer on this. There's actually a funny story behind it. So one of my friends got sent a bunch of these to do a review. He got sent like 4 of them, 3 of them to give away and 1 to do a review on. So he did his review, he did the giveaway on Reddit, and one of the Reddit users, Dogpound, said when he got it, because the other reviewer was a buddy of mine, said, well, hey, could you send it to Anthony Vapes? I would like to see him test it and review it, and have him sign the box for me, and then have him ship it to me. So of course my friend asked me, and I was more than happy to oblige. I was actually pretty honored that someone would even care enough about me, little old me here, to request that. So I thought that was really cool. So of course I said yes to it. So my buddy shipped me his mod. So I tested, do a review on it, and then I can go ahead and shoot it out, send it out to him. So, by the time you guys see this video, it'll be all on the way to him already. Hopefully you'll have it by then, but it'll at least be on the way. So no disclaimers really needed. I mean, I don't know where you want to place it, but it clearly wasn't, sent to me from any company or anything, and it's not even my mod. So anyway, let's not waste time on the intro. Shoot into the up close, shoot into the tech testing, and then be back here with my pros, cons, and whether I'd recommend it or not. Alright, so let's take an up close look at the ETaliens mod, the ET-X3. Here's the box it comes in. Like I said in the up close, the intro, they wanted me to sign it, so I'm going to go ahead and sign the box right here. Try to find a spot that I can actually sign because the box is mostly black, and I have a black Sharpie. All right, we got it nice and signed. Inside the box, we're gonna get some stuff. So this actually comes inside of the mod. This is the 18650 adapter. If you want to use an 18650 battery with it, you just slide this in. I'll show that in a second. They have this little nice padding. You got your manual, which really honestly doesn't tell you anything about the mod or how to use it. They call it a user guide, but very, very little actual useful information. And then you get your mod inside of here. And that is all you get. Literally all you get. Nothing else to it. So take a look at the mod itself. Here's the mod, and it is a beauty. Let's zoom in. It is a beautiful mod. I mean, it's absolutely beautiful. It feels heavy, it feels well built. Very solid, very beautiful mod. Very nice design, very unique. It's supposed to, of course, look like an alien from the movie Aliens, hence the name. And the big old head. It's got a nice 510 pin on it. There's a USB port. Doesn't come with a USB cable though, which is odd. Oh no, actually I take it back, it does come with a USB cable. It's actually under the thing. I remember that now. It's under the thing. So it does come with a USB cable. Now here's the battery door. The battery door, something I was not a fan of. This thing came on so tight. I'm actually happy it got sent to me first so no one else had to deal with it. But this thing was locked on tight. I had to get pretty creative to get this thing off. And then I cleaned up all the threading on it, cleaned it up all nice, and now it comes off pretty easily. So, but originally it did not. Originally it was completely jammed into place and pretty damn near impossible to take off, but it's not my first rodeo, and I was able to get creative enough to get it off, and I got all the threading cleaned up on it, everything cleaned out, and now it's actually works pretty well. I will say one thing about it though, if you look on here, it says how to open, there's an arrow. Yeah, that's the wrong way. The arrow is supposed to be the other way. So take note of that. If you do get it, you don't want to try to take it off the opposite way. Here's your battery compartment. And if you want to use an 18650, you just take this and slide it in. And now you can put an 18650 in there. And then just kind of stick your finger in and wiggle it out to get it out. As you can see, the threading's still not very good on it, but could be worse. Okay, so the screen pops on. Here's your screen. There you go. So basically 3 clicks, 1, 2, 3, goes into your modes. You got your Kenthal, nickel, titanium, stainless steel, and that's it. So you have 4 modes. You got your power and then 3 temp modes. Nothing special to it. When you go into temp mode, and this thing's been a little tricky on me, and I couldn't find anything on the manual, right? So here you can adjust your temp, right? Once you fire it, now you can adjust your watts, but you can no longer adjust the temp until you go back and then come back into the mode again. So if I go 1, 2, 3, I go back into the mode, now I can actually adjust the temperature. Really weird system. I could have sworn at one point when I was holding one of these buttons here and doing it, it let me switch between the two one time, but clearly not. So I don't know. It's weird. This chip is really, really weird. Anyway, let's throw it back into Kenthal. And like I said, just adjust your wattage. No preheats, no nothing. Nothing special about it. And whatever you put in your Kenthal is what it's going to start your power at for temp mode. You see now it's at 100 watts. Yeah, that's pretty much all there is on the mod. So let's go ahead and cut into the tech testing. And I'll be back here with my pros, cons, and whether I recommend it or not. Alright, so let's go over the test results of the ETaliens mod. I'm actually going to start on the spreadsheet side, not the chart side. I'll tell you why. So the batteries used were the iJoy 26650 battery, is what I used to do my testing. The main thing I have here is, we'll start with the notes. The resistance reading is really inaccurate on the high side. So it's off by quite a bit, sometimes 0.04, sometimes 0.07. So it's really off, and not only that, it's not really consistent. There would be times I could take the same build, I could put it on 3 different times and get 3 different resistance readings that were not very close. Like for instance on this 0.54, I put it on one time, it read 0.61. I took it off, put it on my meter, it read 5.4. I took it off, put it on a DNA, it read 5.4. Took it off both of those again a couple of times, 0.54 across the board. Put it back on the mod and then it read 0.57. So there's really not any consistency, and that's going to really mess up the accuracy and just the consistency of the mod as well. The output is very shaky. Like, it has a really shaky signal, especially at the higher wattages. At the lower wattages, it was actually pretty smooth, but once you started trying to push the higher wattages, the signal was way shaky, not even a little. It was not very good. The high voltage does mean that it has a boost circuit in it, but the boost circuit must have been struggling because the way it looked was just bad, and it was just, the output was bouncing all over. It was really hard for me to even assign numbers to this mod in those higher outputs because they were just all over the place. So it was definitely a rough go at the testing. It just did not perform very well. It also did some weird things in my usage, which I'll go over a little bit later when I do the final thoughts, pros and cons and whatnot. Now if you look at the resistance, even though it looks like it's super low, it actually hits higher is what you're going to feel out of it, just because it's reading it wrong, because technically it should be a 0.12. It would really be like 58 watts. But I'm not going to give them extra wattage because their mod can't read resistance correctly. So I'm just going to play it out like the chip was reading it correctly. And it's not really an issue I ever have with mods, but this one was, you know, pretty bad. This and the Captain were the two that have done this to me. And those are really the only two. So you see, it would really be 90 watts is what it would have felt like when you're vaping it, even though technically it would be 62 based on what the chip says. And the same here. If I was to change that, it would really be 93 watts is what it would feel like. So it's going to feel a lot higher than the setting, than what the mod actually thinks it's putting out. Is basically the best way that I can put it. So yeah, that's what I got for that. I mean, amperage, 18. I mean, like I said, that's, the 18 was actually over here. But if I was to drop this down to what it really was, it would be like 22. Either way, the amperage output's super low. You know, for a single battery mod, that should be about 30. I'm pretty sure the Pico did around 30. So if that can do 30, this should do 30. The volt limit's fine, 7.5. It could be more because I was maxing out the 100 watts on it. And the 101 watts, whatever, it does meet its spec there. I'll just take a quick look at the chart, not going to spend much time on it like I normally do, because Like I said, the way the chip performed was just bad regardless of what the chart shows, but as you can see, there's really not much consistency or anything in it. It's just a really, really poor performer in power mode, and there's not much more to say about it than that. Let's go ahead and shoot into the up close. I'll go over the temp control, my pros, cons, and final thoughts. Alright, so now we got to see the up close, we got to see the power mode testing and whatnot. Let's go over the temp control on it. The temp control on this thing is extremely poor. Terrible. Absolutely terrible. I'm not even going to do one vape on it to show you guys because it's nothing but a mixed bag of disgusting burn hits. It just flat out doesn't work. A lot of the times it stays like super low and then all of a sudden just pulses up really hard, way past its limit. It just gives you a nasty burnt vape and you almost want to like throw them out against the wall. So temp control mode just flat out doesn't work. Not worth a damn. So there's really not much else to say about it. Right now I'm vaping watt mode at 45 watts. Would have said the 0.41 coil, but that's not necessarily true, as we just learned in the up close. Let's go with the pros and cons. First pro is going to be the looks. It's a very unique looking mod. It's a very cool, unique looking mod. Definitely a showpiece, something that's going to turn heads. So, yeah. Next one's going to be the build quality. It is a very solid built mod. This is like one solid built thing. It's heavy. You could throw this at somebody, it probably wouldn't break. I'm pretty sure it's going to be durable. I've actually seen the internals. I didn't open it up myself because it's not my mod. But a buddy of mine did open it up and take a look at the 510 pin in his review and sent pictures, and it's really nicely wired up and the 510 pin's all good and everything. So it's really well built mod. So I get the pro for me. That's all I got for the pros though. Not a lot of them. Let's go over the cons. First con is going to be the performance in power mode. It was really just bad. It can't read resistance accurately, higher wattages. It was just all over the board. It was really hard to even assign a number to it. It was just a really poor performer in power mode. It just didn't work very well. Not unless you used really low watts. Next one's going to be the temp mode performance. Again, just absolutely horrible. Doesn't perform good in temp mode by any means. Actually feels a little bit laggy too. Like sometimes it takes like a second to fire up, like it's firing, but it's not firing when it's supposed to, and then it jumps up, but it doesn't do it all the time. It's really weird. Really weird performing in every mode. Next one's going to be the resistance readings. It can't read resistance accurately. That's a huge con in my book. Next one's going to be the battery cap. The fact that the battery cap came practically fused onto the mod, and I had to use the might of Hercules in order to get it off. You guys don't know what I went through to get it off. I mean, I got it all cleaned up and everything now. I don't know why it was so stuck. Plus the fact that they actually label it backwards is kind of dumb. Next one's going to be that it's an uncomfortable mod. It's just really not a comfortable mod to hold because there's so much jaggedness and stuff to the mod. It's not really comfortable to hold or vape on. It's kind of like pointy. I mean, even the fire button kind of like stabs your finger when you're using it. So it's just a very uncomfortable mod. And last but not least, it does have button rattle. So yeah, that's all I got for the cons, quite a bit of them. The question is would I recommend it or not. I don't do hard yeses or nos, but obviously I think you guys understand the tone of this video. This one's going to lean pretty heavy towards the no. Unless you want it pretty much just for a showpiece, there's really not much of a reason to buy this mod. Especially I think it costs like 80 bucks or something like that too. It's a pretty expensive mod. So unless you just want it to sit on your shelf as a showpiece, like yeah, I have that, it looks cool, I can't really see a reason for anyone else to buy it other than that. It's not a good mod. Now, mind you, they did make a DNA version of this mod, and with the DNA chip in it, it would probably be a pretty good mod. It'd probably be a killer mod with the DNA chip in it, just for the looks and everything over it. If you can get over the fact it's uncomfortable, the DNA mod practically fixes all the cons with a DNA chip. But since Valve stopped making that chip, apparently that's what I heard. At least I don't know how true it is. That's why they switched to a different chip, and the new chip is just no bueno, not good. So yeah, that's all I got for you guys today. I want to thank you guys for watching. I'll get this shipped out to its rightful owner. I'll record videos on Saturday, so I'll get it shipped out Monday to its rightful owner. So hopefully I'll have it next week. I definitely appreciate him. So big shout out to Dogtown for doing that, for requesting that. I thought that was really cool. Big shout out to MJag for facilitating it and for doing his review and everything. So appreciate that, buddy, as well. Other than that, just want to thank you guys for watching. Feel free to follow me on social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, all that stuff. You can join the Wicks and Coils group, which is Jay Hayes' group. member of that as well. I'll try to spend more time there. I know I've been saying that. I've just been so busy lately, so I'll try to spend more time with that. Feel free to check out the free Match Fire Luke review I did because I have a giveaway going. So I'll throw a link to that review somewhere over here so you can comment on that video and enter in that giveaway. That will end on the 23rd, and I'll announce the winner on the 25th. Other than that, this is Anthony Vapes, as always, keeping it honest. Hopefully you guys can say you're doing the same. I will do a Friday info video. It's going to be about what is a regulated mod, since there seems to be some confusion. So I'll be out Friday, no video tomorrow. Give you guys a break. I'll catch you next time.